Up next we have, I'm excited to have Splunk come up. Lisa Stifelman-Perry has been at Splunk for a while. She's a friend of ours. I've been to QBRs down in their facility. Ryan Cauthron is joining as well from Splunk. And they have Roland, Wright, and Raegan Wilson of the Spur group as well. And they are going to come out and talk about this. You ready? Product, profitability, ease of doing business. These are factors that partners want from channel organizations. And when partners get what they want, everyone wins, including the end customer. So we're excited to have Splunk and the Spur Group share with us their insight on the very current topic of PX and customer experience.
Well, thank you, Dave. We are so excited to be here with all of you, and hopefully you had an amazing week at PartnerCon. I know I have missed being in person, and I've loved meeting as many of you as I've had the opportunity to this week. I wanted to start off and just first ask the panel to tell this audience something that nobody knows about you. Lisa, you want to go first?
Well, it depends on who you ask, because I do know some people here. So I love music, but moreover, I love to dance. And maybe all of you, maybe that's not like a big exciting thing, but I will do it anywhere. If there's a good song on, it can be in an elevator, it can be at the grocery store, it can be anywhere, but I will break out into dance, and I do it with reckless abandon. I love it.
And this is why we get along so well, because you might have seen me through the week stand up randomly as a song played.
You were just dancing in the back as we were walking over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Random acts of dancing with reckless abandon.
We're
no one's watching.
What about you, Ryan?
I think, so I was randomly just talking about this yesterday with Lisa and some other folks we were chatting with. So when I was younger, I was a server at TGI Fridays and the old spaghetti factory, and I truly believe that has taught me everything that I know to succeed today. Dealing with interesting personality types, if you're not moving, you're not making money, like all of that has played a big role in who I am right now.
I love it, that's great. Roland?
You brought some of those skills back too while we were here.
Oh, I sure did, yeah.
Can I get you?
I saw you try to take that tray from the person at lunch.
4 glasses.
Yeah.
I brought 4 glasses, yeah.
Great. How about you, Roland?
Mine's about music too. I really, really like death metal music. I really like it. That's almost all I listen to, and it's not hard rock, it's death metal. So, and I'm a pretty calm person, so it doesn't.
So you have to understand, like, Roland is the most even keel, like, that I would never have guessed. Would never have guessed that.
Yep.
Well, we are here to talk to you guys about partner experience, and I know the 4 of us, we are very, very passionate about it. So I want to ask you guys a question, and this is going to take a little bit of participation. So anyone in this room who has partner experience in their title, I want you to stand up. Lisa, get up, stand up. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3 people.
That's my people.
I told you it was going to be a small number. She thought she might be the only one. Congratulations, ladies. Come see me later. Well, we talk later. You know, we saw you yesterday. Okay, so stay standing. How many people in this room have partner experience in their job role? So within their job, oh my goodness. Stand up, stand up. Let's see.
1, 2, 3,
okay.
4, 5.
See, I knew there's more of you out there, but you're just not officially PXers, right? So work on that. It's a thing. I really believe that over the next couple of years, what we'll see is the rise of partner experience. We will see that become an actual job title that is getting sprinkled across more and more organizations. And that's what we're going to talk to you about today, is how, with Splunk launching their new partner program, what that partner experience meant in bringing Partnerverse to life. So first off, I want to ask you guys, what is the one key partner experience strategy that you want the people in this room to walk away with today? You want to go first, Ryan?
Want me to go first?
Yeah.
I would have to say, kind of within the context of the title of our session here, it's the starting point. And for me, that is the skill and the strategy of really, truly learning how to think big. And a lot of people, I would say maybe 60 to 70% of the questions that we get, or the pushback that we get if we're trying to plan something or do something new, all relate to thinking within the box that we live in. And as a former AWSer for a long time, it's not only encouraged, you have to think big. You get called out for not thinking big enough. Equally as important as what we choose to do or implement is what we do not choose to implement. And you have to demonstrate, even for yourself or for your leadership team, these are the other things. Like Lisa knows, this is what we lead with. These are the other two things that we considered doing, but we didn't for XYZ reason. But you really don't, if you're not looking under every single rock and challenging the structure and the way things have been done in the past, in my opinion, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing your program and your partners a disservice.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's great. Lisa?
Yeah, I mean, strategically speaking, I'd say partner experience is something that's very outside in. You know, it's very much something that's from them to us, and it's not about us. So when you have a big, thinker like this, it's, okay, how do we get into that empathetic place? Because by definition, and I really buy into Forrester's definition of partner experience, and it's all the interactions that we put our partners through, and then it's the impression that they are left with once they go through those interactions. And we have control over the first part of that definition, but we do not have control over the second part of that definition. And so partner experience to me is a very touchy-feely sort of thing, and so strategically speaking, it's very cross-functional in nature. It needs to come from the top down. There needs to be stewards of partner experience. So when you ask the question, who has partner experience in their role? Everybody in this room should stand up, because, So, and it should be obsessively pursued across those functions.
Absolutely. Roland?
I think a few things you could do now. There are things, know your program. I know of a lot of times where sometimes your partner teaches you something about your program you didn't know about. Know your takeaway, or know your technology. Know and partner. If you're using a partner, know that PRM system, know your portal. Also know your partners. Become a partner. It's these types of things that will help you to build that experience and make it better.
That's great, you guys. Have any of you in the room, and you can raise your hands, but just food for thought, sat down with a partner and actually seen what their experience is with your tools? Or has anybody in your organization done that? I would highly recommend that you take time when you're meeting with partners to see what their actual experience is with from a digital standpoint. Now, I'm going to argue that partner experience goes beyond that. It's not just the partner portal. So partner experience is your partner program. It's all of the elements that the partners touch. It's not just the partner portal, so keep that in mind as well. So thank you guys. So what does partner experience mean to you guys? And how did you, well, I'm gonna start with you, Lisa. How did you get into the role of actually being the partner experience leader?
Yeah, like I said before, partner experience means to me that impression that they're left with. Because that's really what matters. If they're left with a negative impression, that's going to have an impact. Too many negative impressions. I think a partner will partner with 8 different suppliers and they fire one each year. You do not want to be one of those people. So feelings matter, and how they feel about those things. How I got into this, I didn't go to school for it, that's for sure.
Who here went to school for channel?
Who went to school for PX?
All right, that's what I thought.
I think they actually should have a school for PX. So back in my old company, I was there for 11 years, and there was nothing out there about PX. There was a lot of things out there about CX, and I would read things about CX, and I was like, we could just cross customer out. We could just put partner in there, and it's the same thing, But there wasn't a lot out there, but I would read that material. And I was also in parallel trying to make a business case to rip and replace the PRM system that we had to make it more purpose-built for partner with the best practices that were baked in. And I got to an impasse at about a year, and there was a new CIO that came on board. And so with new C-level executives, it's like fresh set of eyes, fresh set of ears. And I go in there, I have 15 minutes in front of her, and she stopped me, and this is, it may have been more eloquent than this, but my truth is, she stopped me about 1 minute and 30 seconds in, and she said, "Stop talking to me like that." She said, "Stop talking about operations, stop talking about this field and that field. stop talking about how much money we're going to save. I want to know about the partner experience end to end across the life cycle. I want to know what the gaps and the pain points are in that experience, and I want you to document it on this one slide, which she gave to me, and then come back to me. I mean, it changed my life. It totally changed my life. It was the best 5-minute long conversation I've had with any C-level executive. And I couldn't unhear it, and I couldn't unsee it. And then I went on to, I went online and I was like, let's just partner experience and trying to figure out what I was gonna do next. And Maria Chin had a white paper, the only white paper from Serious Decisions that was out there about partner experience. So I had a slide, I had a CIO who just kind of gave it to me straight, and I had that one white paper, and I'm like, this means something. And that was about 7 years ago. Wow. It's a long time ago.
Wow.
So now, the world is completely different now with that. So that's how I started doing it.
What about you, Ryan?
So after I served at TGI Fridays and Old Spaghetti Factory, I started out my career in technology as a seller. So I worked for one of the top 5 bars. I worked for a company called Soft Choice. And I dialed for dollars, and I sat in that role. I lived that experience for a long time, became a funded head, went and worked for 2 startups in sales, and then went to AWS, and I dove into the operational piece. At the end of the day, for me, what I love and what is most fulfilling for me is when I see the light bulb go off above somebody's head that they got something. And it's because I created an experience that got them there. They didn't have to think too much about it. They discovered something that they didn't know, and connecting those dots, and it's the back end for me, making all that happen, navigating complexity. The partner doesn't have to know what goes on. It's the Disneyland effect. They show up, they have a great time, they walk into something, they don't need to know what got them there. And I just love living in that world.
I love that. We always joke that no one needs to see how the sausage is made.
Right.
It just needs to be smooth. They don't need to see the duck's feet paddling underneath the water, just nice and smooth. So Roland, you come from a different sphere than Lisa and Ryan. Talk to us about your thoughts on PX.
As a lot of you know, I came from InPartner. I've probably worked with close to 100 partner programs in my 6 years. Through all these programs, all the projects we've done, I got drawn into the relationship between the partner and their client. And through that, I can see relationships building through software. Because how often do you handshake anybody anymore? And the experience is so key in that. Without giving them that good experience from the start, you're doomed from the beginning. I think it's just critical that we build a good experience right from the beginning, and just have trust through there.
Absolutely. My experience, I'm similar to you, came up through the sales world. I started managing partners. I've pretty much been in the channel my whole life. I didn't start at TGI Fridays, or I didn't ever serve, but I managed partners for Intel and Cisco and Microsoft, and I saw what they looked like, and I understood their needs. And then, like Roland, I came to the software side of it, so I kind of had that, what a partner cares about, peace in mind. And so it's very interesting when you can kind of put yourself on their side of the table. And then obviously, we're a partner of, software vendors like InPartner, and so we have those relationships as well. And I think when we put ourselves in those, on the other side of the table, when we think about what the partner wants and making it easy for them to do business with us, right? That's really the key. So thank you for your thoughts there. Now I know you guys just launched a brand new program. We did that in May. It was really awesome. And it was quite a heavy lift, so I thought it would be good for the audience to understand what the key challenges were that you faced when you were going through the process of bringing Partnerverse to life, and what did you do? What did you do to get over those challenges? How did we get there? Do you want to go first, Lisa?
I think Ryan should go.
Okay, Ryan. No. Maybe Roland could go first.
You're so much closer to it, Lisa.
Come on. Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
All right.
So just to set some context, so I'm consulted about strategy, but I am a practitioner. So all you practitioners out there, in my world, it's about digital experience, it's about execution. It's about taking a big idea or initiative and like chunking it down into, okay, what are the most impactful things that we're going to be able to do? And another part of this session is about working backwards. And so it's what is the ultimate thing we want? Like, what's the press release that we're going to write? And then going back and making decisions from a partner's point of view all along the way. Well, that requires patience, it requires time, it requires time estimation to be extremely accurate in the execution world, and it requires solid decisions being made without a whole lot of change, going on in the execution process. So that is the context that I'll lay about what I'm going to say now. We had a very short runway. It wasn't a project that we were delivering. This was an initiative, and so I define initiative as a whole bunch of projects that we're delivering to, different deadlines. So just to give you an example, we went from Marketing View to News on Demand. We went from Partner Locator to Solutions Catalog. We went from a Partner Plus program to a Partner Burst program. We went from Partner Types to Partner Motions. We went from no badge strategy to a badge strategy. We went from over.
Lisa, I can't do it. I can't relive that.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Right. But I mean, we have to remember
why it's
things,
so hard.
right? So I mean, this was very.
And how long was the runway?
So first deadline was we really started, I would say, like getting into like the execution train in December.
Yep.
Just in time to go on winter break. So December, and our original target date was February. That got pushed to May for obvious reasons. When we started, we had one project manager. We ended up with 6. When we started, we didn't have Spur Group. We brought in Spur Group. So we were literally building the plane while we were flying it. And we had to divide and conquer with the resources that we had. So for me, in execution and practitioner world, I just was like, we are on 5 trains and I see brick walls at the end of every single one of them. And minimum viable product is just something that you have to, when you're doing something that big and in that period of time, it's like, you really have to rally around the minimum viable product because you're ripping off a bunch of Band-Aids and you're having to do development work to lay the foundation. And when I could realize that and accept that, sometimes PX, you just have to do the best you can while that MVP and that foundational work is being laid, and just really knowing in your soul that the real work will begin after. It's not like PX, kind of ever ends, so.
It grows, right? It keeps growing.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think that, one of the risks, and I would be remiss if I didn't say this, for practitioners, for influencers out there within your companies who want to make these big changes, if you have any influence at all in being able to communicate and having the organization kind of consult the people who are going to do the heavy lifting and the work, have them contribute to what the time estimations will be and kind of what your process is, so that you can meet in the middle, right? And really not try to boil the ocean, but let's deliver the minimum lovable product, not necessarily the minimum viable. And your program and your partners, you'll delight them way more, and your program will land better the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. Setting those right expectations.
For sure.
Realistic timelines. I know when we joined helping you guys out in about December of last year, they told us February, and we said,
yeah,
that's not going to happen though. We have to hit it. Like, it's not gonna... We knew it wasn't realistic, and we just kept. Roland said it's May, and I said it's May. And it was May.
Right when I joined the project, I'm like, that's May.
It's May, yeah. So I think really understanding the level of effort in front of you to bring something of magnitude to life and doing it right and well is a pretty big thing to have in front of you. What about you, Ryan?
So I was going to say setting accurate expectations, not just with your leadership, but with yourself. You covered that piece. The other thing to understand too is not everything has to go out at once, and that was in hindsight, something that the company should have probably taken a different look at. You know, we had some other influences with leadership that played a part in that, but we still made it happen. The other thing too, so post-delivery, and this is actually the phase that we're moving into now, is that programs with a capital P are a living, breathing thing. You don't set it and forget it and then walk away and do something else. You need to constantly be listening to the feedback that's coming in. So we are now charting our course forward to kind of make some other tweaks and changes to it, and that will always be the case, and you should always be open to something like that as well.
Absolutely. Roland, you were part of this. What challenges, what did you see?
I came up with an analogy, and hopefully it makes sense to everybody, but does everyone know what a Swiss Army knife is? I'm assuming most people do. I imagine your program being a Swiss Army knife. And what we had to do with that is you don't just throw a knife to someone with all the tools and all the things opened, and you don't hand it to them that way. You hand it to them closed and ready to be used when they need that tool. And so I relate it to that because we built a dashboard that helped point your partners on where to go and what to do. And this really helped the experience and gave them the tools they need and a great experience, I feel. And I think that was, I hope that's a good analogy.
It's a great analogy. That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, we were moving so fast. One particular thing about one of your contributions was the homepage is a big deal. Like, it's a huge deal. And, I think we all felt like it was being a little bit minimized, and we wanted to make it interactive and really land with a good impression there. And just one day, Roland says, "Here's what I'm thinking," and presents us with a visual. And, it was something nobody asked you to do. You did it. You came, you showed it to us, and it was like, this is something we can react to. And I thought that was really important,
And
it was one of those magical moments. It was magic. It was stardust.
I was just going to say, and to Ryan's point, now we're starting to work on the journey for the partner.
Yes.
And that's coming now, right? And we're starting at a great base for that. And we've learned a lot from our past experiences.
Mm-hmm. Well, I love how Roland kind of came to the table with the ideas, and it's those years and years of experience, the 100 different programs that he's seen, where he can see what your program looks like and how to make sure that lands with the partners and that they have a really clear understanding from a digital standpoint as to what you're trying to convey, because you might be too close to it. Like, oftentimes our clients are too close to the program that they can't see beyond it, and so we can bring that expert, those elements to the table for you, right? So speaking of the digital element and PRM in your portal, so Roland, what are the digital threats that you see to partner experience?
I think there's a few things, not just digital, right? I think there's unprepared programs. I think there's people not knowing how to use the tools, which I mentioned earlier, and really struggling to get in the partner's head and really learn from them. I think we don't spend enough time thinking about our partners. We get, like you said, we get locked in our box and we don't know. I think one way to get through some of these is to interview a partner. Go through an experience with them. That unlocks things you couldn't imagine. And it also teaches you what you need to get going and fix.
Absolutely. Overcomplicated partner programs are a partner's worst enemy. And oftentimes...
Thank you for saying that.
Yes. Yeah, you can make it too hard. And if that partner experience is too many clicks and you have to go find things and search for things, I guarantee they've gone to another vendor to do their deal registration or to do whatever they need to do because someone else has made it easier. And we have clients on both, all ends of the spectrum, so we've kind of seen it all. And we have some that make it really, really easy and some that don't want to listen, and it's not an easy process.
Isn't this where empathy comes in? too, about like in the box, we think what we've created is great. I would also say, and this is a little more, I don't know, but it's like if you're doing PX work and you are not an empathetic person, what I mean by that is your ability to put yourself in someone's shoes and see the world through their eyes, and in the partner world, seeing how they make money, or seeing, being able to see what their experience would be if you have an empty seat at that table. Like, you're probably not in the right, in the right role. It requires a lot of empathy to be able to see the view of someone else's world, and then being able to say, would I do this? Like, is this easy for me? How many machinations are we putting our partners through, and just calling it down from there.
Well, I always think it's interesting, we talk about partners, but partners are just people. They're just like us.
Amen.
I'm a partner, right? I'm a
Amen.
partner. And I think for so long there's been this thought that partners are something that is different from you and me, and they're just like us. So if you go to your portal, would you want to use it? I mean, that question number one, would you use your portal? The answer to that is no. Then you probably need to do some work. But I love that, Lisa. It is about putting yourself in the other person's shoes and thinking about it from their goals and what they're trying to do.
Yeah, or to Roland's perspective. I mean, if you have time, bring them in. Fill the seat at the table, or bring them in.
Absolutely.
Consult them along the way. They're some of the best consultants ever.
Sometimes they'll tell you things that you never knew. Like, your words are not the words they use. So sometimes your internal words don't land with them. They don't understand that, XYZ means this to you. It doesn't mean that to them. And so they don't think to click on it. So that's one that seems to always come up.
Yeah.
So Lisa, I know you are passionate about partner experience. How has the importance of partner experience changed in your mind?
That's a great question. It's a funny question, because I imagine myself answering that question like, actually it has. It's not important. I mean, you can't answer the question that way. It's like, I think about, like, let's say we were at this conference and we were all playing a drinking game about how, you drink every single time you hear partner experience. We would all be on the floor, like, it's just, it's not like it was with one slide, one white paper anymore. There's too much, not only information out there now, but there is data to back up the importance of partner experience. So no, it's not less important. If anything, it's intensified more. And I've just been able to expand kind of how I see it, because it's not one thing, it's not one role. There are many areas, they're all very connected together. And really that strategy that we were talking about before, like, it's only as good as the connectedness, and the stewardship of partner experience being obsessively something in the fabric of your organization. Like, it's way more so than what I even thought before. I was like, let's just get this new portal implemented, and we're just gonna, it's gonna solve all the world's problems. But I knew your partners can't profit off your product, or they don't have the people resources, or they don't have the digital tools to be able to get what they need when they need it, and you're not promoting them. And then, it's like a three-legged or two-legged table.
The partner experience and the portals are living, breathing things. Partner programs are living, breathing things. And it was said last night, oh, I don't have budget for it. Partners are so important. They're huge portions of your revenue streams. Go and ask and fight for that budget, and don't take no for an answer. It is so important that these things get done right and well, that you need to go ask and have the data to back it up, because your partners are driving the revenue. And if you scrimp and don't bring the partner experience to life in the right way, they will find someone else to do business with, and it will hit you where it hurts. So making that investment now will pay dividends in the future. So you guys modernized your program, changed it completely. You listed off 5 different things that were changed during that time.
And more.
Yeah. So Ryan, I know you lead programs. What are you guys doing to modernize this program? Like, what did you do?
You hit on a word that is another big passion for me, and that is simplicity. If partners have to calculate to understand how to use your program, or to log in the tool, if they have to click around too much, that has to be removed. The word I let obfuscated from view. Lisa knows my words. So simplicity, so we are constantly reevaluating for how we can continue to achieve simplicity. If you look throughout time, that is the one thing that always wins. It's not fad, it's not, trying to grab attention. Simplicity, ease of operation is what keeps people coming back to you and makes the relationship a lot stronger, creates that foundation. The one thing just to go back to the comment that was made and you highlighted just now is the comment of budget. I guarantee you there are things that you can do that don't require budget to improve your partner's experience. There is, on a monthly basis, we evaluate a simple operational process. We go through, how does somebody ask for help? How do we connect that to our legal team if somebody wants to extend the territory on an agreement? All of those things contribute to the overall experience and don't require dollars to go in and implement and do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Focus on the low-hanging fruit, right? There's plenty of it.
It's always there.
Go
Always
gather
there.
it up and feast on it. So Roland, we've kind of established you've seen a lot of different portals over the years, all different shapes and sizes. What do you think are the most common areas for improvement? So you got a portal already. To Ryan's point, you don't need to invest money in buying maybe more things. But what is something that you can do right now today to these folks in the audience that they could go out and maybe get done on their portal that would help their partner experience?
So I'm the technical guy, right? I think when I used to work with clients and even working with you guys, I think there's a lot of knowledge that is in the technology. I think it's hard to get that knowledge in your head and to learn everything. But you need to set aside time and do that. You have to. And the more you do that, the more you can help that partner fight through those battles like, oh, this is hard, like this is gonna take some time, or it's difficult, or it's not working. I think with that knowledge of the technology and you being prepared with your program's maturity, I think that goes miles with your partners and the experience they have.
Any other thoughts on that?
No, I agree.
I love it.
Well said.
Make it easy for partners. Make your program sleek and easy to understand. Make sure that your partner portal is a place that offers value to your partners. And if you can make anything that a partner does on a daily basis or on the regular something that they can get to on that homepage, remember that is your gold, that is your real estate. It's the place every partner lands when they come into your partner portal. And you make that the place that they can get to with one click to deal registration, to training, and you put those guided journeys in there to help them get to the other steps through the program. I think that's really what will help you bring your digital partner experience to life.
Can I say one thing? I mean,
Yeah,
just for the people who are in this room, like hearing this conversation, or you've been hearing like some of the more frameworky, is that a word? Frameworky, type of presentation. You might be asking yourself, like, how do I do this? Like, where do I start? How do I do this? It's not a monolith. It's not one answer. I am here for you. You are my people around the how question. You can find me on LinkedIn. Please come up and introduce yourself. Like, I live in the how, and I know how challenging, that can be to like think that through. So I'm here for y'all.
Don't be scared.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
She's here for you.
I'm here for y'all.
The other thing I would say is, when it comes to partner portals, you guys are in this room because you've got great tech. It's so powerful. There's so many things you can do in it. Ask for help, like Lisa said. There's no reason that your partner should have a poor experience if you're on this platform, because it's amazing. And I've seen companies do some really amazing things with the tech, and you can too. So ask for help, get it when you need it, and really elevate and up-level your program within that partner digital experience in your tools.
So I know I'm borderline in like domination now, but I do want to say something about that too.
Yeah.
Is Joe here? Yeah, okay. So, so Mike Kirby is our AE. I just want to tell a quick story. So Mike Kirby's RAE, he's, definitely at a higher level at InPartner. And I remember when I got to Splunk 3 years ago, I inherited InPartner. And I was going to Mike and our sales executives and I was saying, hey, this is something that we want to do. And I was coming from a PX perspective and I said, help me. Who can I talk to over there to help me figure out how to do this? And Mike said to me, and what I love about him is how honest he is. And he said, listen, we provide a software platform. And we're doing everything from a product perspective to make sure that we're baking in best practices and that these things work and that we're thinking about partner experience. He said, but you really need someone else. You need a trusted advisor to come and join you in your specifics and what's going to be right for Splunk and have them guide and Sherpa you through that and even do the work. And he told me about the partner program that Mark Rogers put together, and that's how we found Spur. So yes, this is not a sponsored event about InPartner, about Spur, but I think it's important that just kind of know that this platform can do a lot of things, and you are not alone, and there is a lot of help. I have been so inspired by all the people on that partner network who have spoken up, the thought leadership is amazing. There's just so much out there. So get support, get that help, know what the platform is and what it isn't, and know where you can, get the help to make your partner experience world class, for sure. Well, it takes a village.
We all established that none of us went to school for channel. How many of you went to school to administer your partner portal? Dang it. Maybe we're in the wrong industry. We need to put together some training and a school of channel. Could be a thing. I think we can turn it over to the audience for some questions. I see a hand.
There's a couple of them, yeah.
Hard to see up here.
Couple people standing up.
Hey, thanks for this. I'm Jeff Matten from Beyond Trust. So you did a lot of stuff, and you did a lot in a short period of time. What's the proof that the partner experience actually got better? I want to know if you have any objective and subjective examples of it's better.
That PX got better?
Yeah.
So
go ahead, yeah.
On the quantitative side, we saw a noticeable uptick in the number of registrations. So because when we did launch, we blasted it out, we drove awareness, and Splunk was relatively flat for a little while. And so after we announced in March, there was a flurry of partners coming in to register, and so that was one starting point. But we're still also, because the programs are new, because some of the integration points are new, we're in the process of still determining what our metrics are going to be, what our KPIs are. We've also got some other internal business changes that are underway so that we can work with our theater leads. So a couple of upfront things from a quantitative perspective, and then we're developing the data points for more. I know, on a qualitative.
Yeah, I think since we've launched the program, I know, because we did this, we've gone back to partners and we've asked for their feedback.
Right.
And I think what you said is, how do you know it got better? It's so new that I think we're getting that feedback and being 2 ears and one mouth and not defending what is there, but understand what's working and what's not working. And there's a lot of things that are working, that got better, from a programmatic perspective, and the way that we serve it up is that we were shoehorning partners into partner types that were dreamt of, ages and ages and ages ago. And we went from calling them a type or a label to going to what they do and what their verbs are and allowing them to cross and roll into, all those different motions, the sell motion, the manage motion. So they're able to align more with how they make money, instead of us trying to shoehorn them into something, make
or
that
give
happen.
them one label.
Huh?
Or give them one label.
Or just give them one label.
Partners
yeah.
do one thing. Yeah.
No, exactly. So, yes, in a lot of ways it got better as far as what they had, their options. One specific tactical thing was we did a simple enablement video that said, here's your less than 8 minutes, here's your fast track to success in Partnerverse. And we put that enablement video up on the dashboard. And I went and checked the stats on it, and it was views and downloads and likes who has the asset library? And like, you look at the likes and nobody likes. We had likes on that thing. So they really liked the enablement that was around it, you know, as well, to say, this is so clear, this explains a lot of things, you know, so that got better. Solutions catalog wise, like, I want to say we had 85,000 hits which was good for us, really good for us, in less than 40 days. So, you know, that was definitely an uptick, you know, quantitatively. So, but yeah, to your question, like, how do we know it got better? We're still learning that about what's better and what we can work on. And I think it's important when you're getting that feedback, two ears, one mouth, like, don't defend it. Don't go, oh, we did it because of this. No, just listen, you know, and then like make those changes accordingly. I see a hand right there, because I'll just keep going.
We have another question here.
Yeah, sorry, Pat Paul from Pipedrive. One comment, I measure on onboard to certification, and my measurement is go from 60 days to 18 days. One way I look at this. Another comment is every one of my employees goes through becoming a partner.
Nice.
To understand what it's like, and starts inputting into how to make things better. So those are the two things we do. The question I have is, my partners have multiple portals that they have to work with. How do I get my unfair advantage from a portal perspective? What do you, from a partner experience perspective? I want them using me more than anything else.
Who wants to go? I mean, I could answer it.
You have to give them a reason to come. So I was talking to a client who's in this room, and they said partners care less about how much money they're making and more about how easy you are to do business with and how easy that experience is. So if you can make it very easy for them to get in and out, and for them to understand what they need to do and how they need to do it, and the why they need to do it, I think those are the things that are going to make it more impactful and get them to come work with you. We've been talking to people all week, and one of the things I've said is, people ask about training. Make sure they understand why you're asking them to do the training. What's in it for them? That's what it always comes down to. So if you can think of it from that standpoint, what's in it for them, what's in it for them, and everything you do comes from that frame of mind, they'll be there.
You'd be surprised how many times you don't see what the benefits are.
Yeah.
Clients don't show their benefits, and I think that's a key driver.
Yeah, it's not clear. Or you just drop them in the LMS. Click here for training, good luck. No, guide them through. Here's the first training we want you to take, here's why. Here's what success we see from partners that do these things. You know, give the anecdotal information around why this is important, and make it so easy that I'm not going to say your young child, because they know how to run tech like nobody's business, but that your 80-year-old mother could do it, right? That they know exactly what to do. It should be that easy.
Okay, we have time for one more question.
Oh, wait 1 second. Don't sleep on communications. Communicate on a cadence. That communication is like another navigation to your portal. They'll click on the communication, they'll go to your portal, and they will engage and consume. I mean, stats show every single time, like, something drops, you communicate it, there's engagement.
And have your people, your CAMs, driving people to the portal, not doing the work for the partner.
Totes. Yeah, that's good.
Everything drives them back. There's another question?
We're at time, but we have time for one more quick question.
Let's go.
Raegan, I'm probably setting you up. So my name is Sam, I'm with AvePoint. I'm the senior director for our partner, for our channel experience. And we launched our partner program about 2 years ago. And since we had in partner from launch, we got onboarded. The first month we onboarded 800 additional partners. And we've taken our company from about 20% indirect to 50% indirect in about 2 years. And our goal is to be 70% by the end of 2023. So we've had a lot of success in this channel, right? But with that being said, we really don't have a huge CAM team, a huge PAM team. And I'm a team of really 4 leaders at my organization that focuses on the channel. So when I hear the great things other folks are doing, like with consultants,